Chad. I hope you're doing well. This is another video for the Assignment 8, the Musical Artist Rebrand, Phase 4. And this one I'm going to be doing a gig poster, but I'm going to be integrating analog type material that I do by hand and digital. So since this is a gig poster, I'm going to run down to page 5 here to the gig poster. This is the Phase 4 marketing material, and this gives us details about the gig poster. And here's the sizes of the gig poster that it should fit. So what I've done is I've copied that out, and then I've gone into Illustrator and I've made rectangles that are proportionately the size of the given dimensions. How did I do that? Well, I used points, so it's really small, so I wouldn't have to draw a 19-inch by 12.5 inch. To me, it would be a little too large. I could use picas, and I actually could use inches, but let me show you how I did it. So I went to the rectangle tool, and I clicked. And here, and this is the problem with picas, is that it shows up really crazy. So I'm actually going to switch to points, because it's a regular counting system. It doesn't go up to, anyway, there's not like, it's different. Okay, so using the rectangle tool, I'm just going to click, and here I can put in 19 point by 12.5 point. And when I click OK, I'm going to get a very small rectangle, but if I hold down Shift and drag out a corner, it's going to enlarge it proportionally. So this is my 19 by 12.5. I could do the gig poster horizontally or vertically. And you're like, well, it's not the same size. Well, it proportionally is the same size. So anyway, if I were to do, so I do that so I can see these different sizes. So when I do my thumbnails, or when I evaluate my thumbnails, I could, pick one that fits my thumbnail size. Here's the other thing that I do at times is if I know the size of my final piece, like I would pick one of these sizes, get the rectangle, and then duplicate it across an entire page. So I know, so when I draw my thumbnails, I can draw them inside these rectangles, and when I enlarge them, my thumbnails will fit the size exactly. Why is that important? Let me show you. So, oops. This is my thumbnail right here that I did on the whiteboard for a demo in class. And what my idea is, if you don't remember, it's Marty Robbins, who's a Western singer that sings ballads about the Old West. And he has some songs on there he just loves the Old West and all the parts and pieces to it. So this is going to be Marty Robbins, or man, playing the guitar, and out of his speech bubble is just a big image of the Old West. It's like reminiscent. I liked it a lot. The big scribble is his name, and the line is the information of how to get tickets. So what I did is I looked at this, the rectangle that was around this thumbnail, and I went, oh, you know what? I think that 19 by 12 is going to be the best proportion for it. So I made a new document in Illustrator and made it 19 by 12. And you can see that here, 19 by 12. And then I put this on top of it, and sure enough, it's very, very close. So I'm like, sweet, that's what I want to do. So what I'll need to do is now back here, I should probably kind of give a brief sketch of what's going on. I want to put, it's going to be just a landscape, and there's going to be some like bluffs or like Red Rocks type thing, Monument Valley. And in front here, I may put in cacti, but I may not. I might just make this full of stars and put a moon here. Maybe. So it's really, really, he just loves the Old West. So this to me is like big sky, red rock, and this is what he's singing about. So this is what I'm going to roll with. So what I'll need is a sketch of these red rocks and a sketch of this, a guy playing a guitar. So what I've done is spent some time looking and collecting images of those, and this is Monument Valley here. That's not the one I decided on in the end. It is. Oh, so that's the singing cowboy that I'm going to be using. So what I did is I printed a page out, and then I don't know if I have the actual. Yeah. Anyway, it's really close to this, but it's just spread out really long, kind of like my sketch. And so I printed both those out, and then I put them on a light table. So we have one of those in our classroom, room 33A, but you have them all over your house or apartment. They're just windows. And you can't do this at night. You do it during the day. You tape up your printout, and then you tape up a piece of paper over the top of it. And then you draw it using the tools that that I've given, like the Micron pen and the brush pen. You can draw, just draw right over the top of those. You basically outline, and then you can put in some details and color stuff in. And then what I did is I took a picture of it. So let me quickly go get the photo that I took yesterday. Pretty sure I didn't delete them. Tell you what, let me. Here's what the sketches looked like. Here's one sketch, and then this was and this one had color on it, but this is the other sketch of the mountains. And that's a brush pen that just makes that crazy texture, and I accidentally colored this guy on the mountain layer. So this is my brush, or sorry, this is my drawing, my tracing. So I traced it, right? Which is fine in my book. What I had to do next was trace out this speech bubble, and here it is. I'll put it in a different color so it kind of makes a little more sense. How I did this just really, really quickly was I made a kind of a rectangle version of it, and then I got the direct selection tool and selected the corners that I wanted to round. I'm holding down Shift as I do this. And then I can grab one of those little points and pull them in so it rounds everything. And then down here, it's just some Illustrator stuff. So I'm using the Flying V tool on the pen and just kind of dragging that out, and then doing the same thing for this one. I'll move that further away. So that's essentially how I got that shape. just if you're curious. And then what I did is I copied this, and then I went into Photoshop and pasted it in. Oops, pasted it in. And I'm going to just use a pixel version of it. And then I kind of put it in the right place, in the right size. And yeah, so let's say I just dropped that there. Now, I already know I don't love the color of this, so just in layers, like I'm going to select it, and I'm on that layer, and then I'll use a brush tool. I'm going to pull this out real quick. There we go. I'm going to use the brush tool and select a deep, deep blue. Well, let me do a medium blue first. And I'll just get a really fuzzy brush. And since this is selected, it's staying within these the selection. Okay, and then I'll go get a darker blue for the top. Now you can get a larger, fuzzier brush type thing. And then here, probably near the horizon, I could leave it like this, or anyway, in the end, mine looks like this. So that's the colors I chose that fits my palette. So darker blue, medium blue, and then this little kind of a color of his hat-ish. Okay, and so obviously I colored this guy in. I'm going to kind of jump there, and hopefully you can see how I did that. I just got a brush and made it quite hard, and essentially, well, you can see a mistake here. So I'm selecting that orange color, and then just painting back here to get that filled in. I see some orange on the neck, but I think this is a scar for shadow, so I'm just going to kind of color this in. And I'm on the color phase, layer, so I'm not really affecting I'm not touching this ink, the ink drawing. And I'm just doing some touch up here because it gets a little messed up when I zoom in on it. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Get rid of some of these because I'm out of bounds here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's how I colored him in. I did the same thing with the mountains. Let me turn off the mountains so you can see. So I just colored those orange mostly, and then this is a darker orange. So that's how that happened. Oh, and then I colored in the mountains in the back, a purple. So I'm pulling colors from each other, and I know that people's faces aren't usually bright orange, but this one's is. And the shirt, people don't usually wear this color purple shirt, but it matches the mountains, blah blah blah. Okay, so doing good. What I did next was I selected, selected this speech bubble, and then I went to my brush palette. We haven't talked a lot about, or at all about, the brush palette, but let me just quickly show you around. Within brushes, there are, so I've loaded some extra brushes, but the ones that are in Photoshop to start with are Basic Group and Dry Media, and let's see, I think there are it dry? No, dry media is it maybe in there. I think it's splatter is what's in, yeah, so splatter. So what I chose was Kyle's spatter brushes, and I might choose this one. We'll see how it goes. Let me collapse that, and I'm just gonna put in some stars here, and these brushes are just really fantastic actually. They let you there's different effects. This is just one of them. And now, then I put my type in here from my identity. Let me open that up real quick so I can get it right. Yep, here it is. So here's this Marty Robbins. Now, what is not terrible is to take your logo and to do it in 2 lines in case you need a vertical one. So whether that's centered or whatever, I'm probably going to use that in this case. So I'm going to probably outline it. So if I think I talked about this in the last video, but if I want to preserve this font and don't want to worry about font issues going from computer to computer, I'm going to highlight that, go up to type, and create outlines. Or you can see the just corner of it here. The create outlines is Command O on a Mac, or it's Shift Control O on a PC. And what that does, it gets rid of the font. It's no longer editable, but it's just in shape. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'll go into my Photoshop, and I'll paste it in as pixels. So here it is. I'll enlarge it. And I may, I think I should go back and alter this so it fits together a little better as a group. But just for speed purposes, this is how I'm going to do it. And then I'll have information underneath it, which I'm going to grab from the other gig poster I did, which is here. Copy that. And I haven't made any, I am going to put some color to this. Let's see, I think instead of tickets at the door, I'll do, because this is a while back, 8 and 12. And I'm going to choose tungsten, probably semi-bold. Oops. Tungsten semi-bold. Oh boy, so I think I deleted that whole type. Let me try that again then. Paste, semi-bold, and then I'll just enlarge it to the width. And I'm trying to align some things. So this is aligned here. The distance between here is very close to this and this. And what I'll probably do is just line this up with the edge of my logo. Like that. Okay. And then I'll want to pick some colors. So I'm going to go brown on that one, and then on this Marty Robbins. Oops. Trash that. Let's see. This. Okay. There's my Marty Robbins. I'm going to so let me make this visible to you so you can see what the heck I'm doing. So what I've done is I've used the Move tool, and the nice thing about the Move tool is you can select layers by just clicking. So I can select the sketch drawing by clicking here, and there it is. That's the sketch drawing. If I want to select my logo, I would click on it, and there's my logo. And I don't like it black, so I think I might try green just to see how it looks, or that dark blue. So I'm going to choose Effects and then Color Overlay. So I have a, this big window, hard to see what's going on, but regardless, I can pick a color here, or I can go to my art, and you can see my mouse turns into an eyedropper, and we can see what that yellow looks like. And so now that you see what's going on, I'm going to kind of move. Yeah, see the whole thing. So there's the deep blue, which actually I think kind of ties in pretty nicely. Here is the orange and the green-gray. I think I'm going for the green-gray. Okay, so that is very quickly how I put together this gig poster with stars. Oh, here's my moon. Let's put a moon in there. I may not keep it. I'm not a big fan right now. It doesn't look, well, it doesn't really add. So that's how I did this is incorporating analog and digital, and I did it in Photoshop. Okay, great. I should be able to, I may do another one in just Photoshop, so stay tuned.